Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Today we have with us Chappell Roan. I'm so excited. Chappell is a musician and artist. Her past singles include California and Pink Pony Club, which currently has 6.7 million streams on Spotify. And she also has an upcoming single release on Friday the 18th, February 18th, called Naked in Manhattan. So let's hear a little bit from Chappell. Can you tell us like who you are, what you do, and everything about your life?
Yes, my name is Chappell Roan. I am a singer slash songwriter. Um, I perform. I live in LA right now, but I'm originally from Springfield, Missouri. And yeah, I'm about to come out with a song for the first time in 2 years.
Great. So excited for the song also. um, so can you talk about like how you got into writing music?
Yeah, I started writing when I was 15 because I had a crush on this Mormon boy in high school, and he was a senior and I was a freshman, and I'm not Mormon. So obviously it was like forbidden love. And so I wrote a love song for him, and then I wrote like 400 love songs, and then I just started writing music after that. That's it.
That is very iconic of you. And can you also tell me, because I know literally as soon as I posted that you were our next guest, I had so many people in my Instagram DMs that were like, I love Pink Pony Club. So can you talk a little about like writing and releasing that song?
Yeah, so that song was actually written 2019 on Valentine's Day, I think. Yeah, it was literally on Valentine's Day 2019. And then we like I was just like inspired by like the gay club, and there was like this shut down strip club in my hometown called the Pink Pony. And I like went to my first gay club in LA, and I was like obsessed with the go-go dancers. And I was like, I want to be one of those. And so I just like wrote a song about me being a go-go dancer. Kind of like my experience, my first experience in the queer community. So yeah.
Yeah. And now we all love it and play it on repeat a billion times. Um,
Thank you.
oh, you're so welcome. And with that, can you also talk about your next single, Naked in Manhattan, which we all are so excited for?
Yeah, for sure. I Naked in Manhattan was so crazy. It was written like just like a couple months after Pink Pony Club was written, and it's just taken this long to get it out. And Naked in Manhattan is like my first single released as an independent artist. So it's just about like my first queer experience with a woman in New York City, and like how it was the most magical thing ever. And I try to capture all of that into a pop song that you could dance to, but also has like emotion. And it's fun to party to, but also to just like feel things too, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking about you being your first song as an independent artist, can you talk a little bit about like that switch, that change from being with the label to independent?
Yeah. So I got dropped in 2020, just due to a lot of things like not aligning with each, like the label and my project, like money and just difference of opinion on how the project should go and music I wanted to release. Like they were so hesitant to even release Pink Pony Club. Like they were like, how you can't have two guitar solos in a song. I was like, yes, I can. So I put it out, and obviously people like it. So they didn't know what they were talking about, as most like labels don't know what they're talking about. Um, but yeah, it's just like complicated. Like I just got dropped, but it was the best thing for my career because now I'm free. I can do whatever I want, and I can promote Naked in Manhattan however I want to. And um, yeah, it's been hard because obviously you don't have money to do stuff. Like label gives you, and they have access to a lot of money to fund your project, but you have to pay it all back. And as an independent artist, you have to fund it all yourself, like out of your pocket, or like, you know, so it's hard.
Yeah. And it's been like you said that this was written just a little while after Pink Pony Club, so you can really see like how long of a process that is, and I'm so excited that this is like a new um gosh, I don't know how to say it, a new section, a new little branch into your career, which is so exciting. Um but yeah, so this podcast, I know that you said that you do not watch much TV, but that's okay. Because we do mostly talk about TV on this podcast. But what
Okay,
are
I have some. I watched some.
good, good, good. So what are some of your favorites and why?
I like Fleabag a lot. I like that's like one show I did finish, like the first two seasons or something like that. I just think she's so funny. And then I'm like a big sucker for like Love Island and The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, like that vibe.
Yeah. I know
Um,
a lot of people
mhm.
actually who are listening to this right now who are obsessed with Fleabag, so I'm really glad.
Oh
um
yeah.
I think you also said that because you don't watch much TV that your inspiration doesn't really come from there, but can you think of ways in your life that it does add to your life creatively?
I would say it's part of the creative process um, when I need to recharge because
Mm.
that's just as much of the creative process as creating. Um, like you need downtime, and I feel like I go to like TV and those like dumb shows to like decompress. Like honestly, sometimes I'll just like put on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody or like Hannah Montana because I don't want to think.
Yeah.
I'll just like watch Wizards of Waverly Place and like TV is there for me in that way of the creative process.
Right. I think that's so important because, like, personally, like, I'm a theater director and I would not consider myself like a generator of art. But
Mm-hmm.
even as, like, I guess I would call myself like an analyzer or an interpreter or something. But, like, even with
Uh-huh.
that, I feel that it's so important to, like, let yourself recharge because if you have nothing inside, then you have nothing to give out, which is important. Um,
Totally.
yeah. And I wish I am not. I love people who are generators, which is why I love talking to you. Cause, wait, okay, this is not about TV, but, um, when it comes to like being a generator and like writing songs, um, how can you talk about like the length, like how much time it takes you to write something?
It really depends on the song. I
Mm.
mean, Naked in Manhattan took 3 years to finish, and then um, that's like from writing the song to it being mastered took 3 years. In that for that song, Pink Pony Club took 2 days.
Mm. Yeah. Wow.
Um, like it really just depends. Like the songs kind of decide how long they take because I'm really like into going back and editing. I'll rewrite an entire song. I'll try to I'll just try everything to see if it works, and then I usually go off of how it feels. If it feels right, then I'll just go with it. But if anything feels off, like if there's anything in my gut like this could be better, then I usually try to beat it.
Yeah. Um, so then with that, and since you um maybe don't get your inspiration from like television or whatever, where does that inspiration come from when you're songwriting?
I feel like it is similar to a way that TV and it like takes you to like a different world and fantasy or whatever. Um, my inspiration just comes from my internal fantasies, like instead of like external. You know what I mean? Um, like I have like a pretty severe case of like daydreaming where I like will disassociating kind of like has a negative connotation to it, but I just like really get caught up in daydreaming and like fantasizing about relationships or the future or like anything. And that's where most of my inspiration comes from, because a lot of these stories are just inspired by small things that I've blown out of proportion as a fantasy.
Yeah. Wow. So interesting. And then this is a question that I've been asking everyone who comes on as a guest this season. How, or maybe you don't think it does, but how do you think that your favorite media or art or things that you loved from childhood have influenced your art today?
I mean, and that is something that I feel like I have come to terms with in the past 6 months of using my childhood as inspiration for my entire art project. Like I, as like a little girl, like loved Britney Spears and Hannah Montana and like playing dress up and makeup and like loved hot pink and like I like, grew up in southern Missouri, so like there's just a lot of like rhinestone rodeo, all of that stuff, like beauty queens and trailer parks and like this like really strange aesthetic that a lot of the rest of the country doesn't have, especially on the coasts. And I've like taken that like my childhood and my upbringing in like ways of like TV shows I watched or like the Barbie movies, like Barbie Swan Lake and stuff, like that has inspired a lot of like my fashion, which is like in like weird as it's weird, but like I use like what I like when I look at my fashion and like my aesthetic, it's like, well, what would like baby Kaylee like? What would she think is so beautiful and cool? And that's what I usually go with. And it usually looks tacky, and I love that,
Yeah, ugh,
you know.
I love that. And it also it's a perfect segue into some Instagram questions that I have for you. Because the first one is you have such fun makeup. Are there any staples that you swear by?
Staples. I mean, I just like really started using rhinestones a lot.
Mm.
Um, I took a huge break from makeup for like a couple years just because I got like really obsessed with skincare instead. And I was like, oh, I think I want to focus on that. But then I like, again, like started deep diving into my inner child and realized that like doing makeup is another art form for me of like, it's really relaxing and like I can be creative and like being kind of looking dramatic and like almost drag like makeup looks makes me feel good and pretty. So I started doing that. And then, so rhinestones, I have like staples. I always, always, always use this one lip gloss from Revlon. It's the super lustrous, the gloss. Hold on, I'm looking at it. In Fatal Apple. I think it's the prettiest gloss ever. I use that in every look that I do.
Very iconic
Those are
of
my
you.
staples.
Um, the next question is tell us about your princess tattoo. Was it spur of the moment or planned ahead of time?
I am obsessed with my tramp stamp. I like yeah, so I have a tramp stamp that says princess, and then it has like doodles of like stars and hearts and little circles and sparkles around, on my lower back. Um, and I decided on Christmas Day, me and my family were driving around, and my sister has a lot of tattoos. Like my little sister is trying to get like a sleeve, and everyone would like that's so unexpected. Everyone would have thought like, I would have gotten that, and I was like, I want a tattoo. I've just never felt like I'm absolutely sure. And we were driving around and I was just like, it just like hit me. I was like, wait, I should get a tramp stamp. And like, it's actually a very meaningful tattoos. I really don't think it matters if your tattoos are meaningful. Who cares? But like this one actually is. And I got it to one, like, it's kind of like a screw you to like my upbringing and like, what's expected of a woman in the church and like how ladylike you're supposed to be and like modest and like it's the trashiest tattoo ever and I love it. Like I'm obsessed with it. And I got Princess because like I feel like as women in general, you're supposed to be this like proper little like virgin. You know what I mean? Like just like
Yeah.
untouched princess girl and like screw you, I'm gonna get it on my ass. I don't know if I can cuss
Yeah,
on it.
you can
Sorry.
cuss.
Okay, I've been like really trying. I like cuss a lot. I'm really trying to not. Um, yeah. So I just got like tramp stamp, you know, princess on my ass, and it means a lot to me. And I like created it. I literally just went on Google, searched the first font of princess I could find, and then copied it on printer paper, and then just drew doodles around it and brought it to a tattoo artist in LA.
That is everything that you're saying is just icon, 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 and I'm obsessed.
Oh my god.
The next question is, what are your biggest musical inspirations?
Hmm. I love it's strange because a lot of my like what inspires me musically is like it kind of doesn't really sound like my music at all. Well maybe a little bit. Obviously Kate Bush does. I really love Kate Bush and um her kind you know, I mean her theatrical pop. And then but Cyndi Lauper as well. So those two sound like it. Okay, kind of like you can hear it in my music, but Radiohead
Mm.
and this band called Alt J really inspire me. And then, um, mm, God, there's I don't like Sarah McLaughlin. Sorry, I like can't remember her last name. What the fuck? Um, just like slow. Oh, like my favorite band is the Magnetic Fields and like just weirder music stuff that's like not conventional pop is really inspiring to me. Um, Alanis Morissette is probably my biggest like icon though.
Great. Very another icon status. Um, the next question is, what are you most excited for with the release of Naked in Manhattan?
I mean, I'm excited to just like release a gay anthem for the gay girls. Like I feel like
Thank you.
they always get like left out. Like gay girls need an anthem. I'm just like it's like Pink Ponytail's sister. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's fun and I'm just excited. I'm excited for people to party to it. And like I'm excited for people to feel a sense of New York City even if they don't live there. Cuz like that is such like an inspiring city to me. And um so that and then like just I'm just so excited to perform it live. Like I'm opening for Olivia Rodrigo and I'm super excited to just like perform that, you know, on her stage. And it just is going to feel good. I can just feel it.
Yeah. Very exciting. I know that like the first time again when I would like as where was announcing you as a guest, my best friend called me and she said, "This is gonna be your gayest episode yet." I was like, "Yeah, correct." um,
I love that.
what is your favorite song right now?
Oh my God. She's so problematic. But she's like literally the most problematic person maybe ever. And but like I love 212 by Azalea Banks. Like I love that song right now. I can't stop listening to it. I can't. Oh, either that or Barbie Tings by Nicki Minaj. Like I like am such on a Nicki kick right now. That or S&M by Rihanna. Like I just all those like, girls.
Okay, so I have two longer questions slash messages for you. The first one is like written, and then the second one is an audio. So the written one says, "Hi, Chappell, the queen of bops. um, I watch the Naked in Manhattan snippets on Insta constantly to get my daily dose of serotonin. So pumped for the release. My question is this: since it's been 2 years since you last released a single, how do you manage the in-between moments as an artist? How do you stay driven and creative in those sometimes long and frustrating moments of transition? What did you learn, and what is advice you would give to young self-starting artists?
That's an amazing question. Um, I didn't handle it super well, honestly. Um, it's discouraging to release music and then it not, like, you just feel like I released Pink Pony Club, like I think like a couple weeks after the whole world shut down, and it was just like heartbreaking because obviously, there were just bigger things going on in the world, and I just was like, who gives a fuck about pop music right now? Like, it was sad, but I was like, there's just so much more important things. There's just so many more important things going on, and like, it was sad that I couldn't obviously feel the full effect of Pink Pony Club coming out and the rest of the singles, but like, there were more important things going on that I had to focus on. People were like passing away, and it was such an uncertain, scary time. So that was really hard to get through, to just like kind of accept that my art was second. And like, I know that's probably not, narcissistic to think, but yeah, that's just like hard to accept. Like, well, no one probably gives a fuck right now, which is fine. They should, but also like getting dropped was discouraging. Like, I will say, like, it is, even though you push through, that doesn't mean that it doesn't feel like shit all the time. Like, I did push through, but it felt horrible the whole time. Like, and now that's why it's so important, because it feels like so good now, and it was all worth it. Like, I don't even give a fuck if the song doesn't, like, if like two people listen to it. Like, I know they won't, but it's like at this point, it's like I worked so hard and pushed through for so many years that the song being out is just like enough for me. And like, I was working at a donut shop for 6 months. I was nannying during those 2 years. I was working at a fast food place, at like a coffee shop, like, and it really grounded me in being like, you know what, there's like more outside of music. This isn't even like a fucking real job anyway. So like, working minimum wage jobs for years, it was hard. It's like not fun to push through. Like, it hurts because you feel like you're failing. And like every day, like, I would just have to tell myself, like, babe, just keep going. It's keep going, keep going. Like, you're here in LA, at least you're here. Like, that means something. You're doing it. Just keep going. And so we're here.
Yeah. That makes me so even more excited knowing that it was such a journey to go through and to get to this point. And we have one final little thing for you to listen to. It's an audio clip from who I'm pretty sure is your biggest fan in the world. Her name is Grace. So let me play that. Just 1 second.
Hi, Chappell. I can't believe you're hearing this. This is absolutely bonkers. My name is Grace, and I'm one of your biggest fans. At least I think so. I'm pretty sure. I first heard Pink Pony Club back in 2020, and then ever since then, I was obsessed with all of your music, forcing it upon everyone in sight. Madison knows. They got a playlist with your music on it. And I just wanted to thank you for creating art that allows queer people like myself to kind of like feel comfortable in the unknown and with the lack of identity. Your music just really brought me to a place where I was struggling to figure out, like, I knew I was different. I knew I was LGBTQ, but the pressure of like a label just felt so immense. And within your music, I found the label of queer, and I was like, that's what I need. That's just the label that is for me. It's like big enough that I know what it means, but it has no strings attached. It's like inherently me, and your music really helped me find that. And I just want to thank you so much. You create art that is freeing, and I remember when I first heard Pink Pony Club, and I immediately replayed it because something about it just like struck internally, something that I'd never heard before. It felt like you were unlocking a part of me, and I haven't been able to stop listening to it since. I am absolutely stoked for Naked in Manhattan at this point in time. It's only a few days away, and I am unbelievably excited. I am so grateful for your art, and I really hope that you create for as long as is exciting for you. So I am so excited. Thank you so much for listening to this. I love you so much. Bye.
Yeah, how does that feel? I don't know. I don't have fans, so how does that feel to like have gone through, all of you said like that was such a journey and a struggle for you these past 2 years. How does it feel to know that your music means so much to people?
Um, I don't know. Um, it's like I don't know, I couldn't ask like for anything more than what she said. Or I'm sorry, what's their pronoun?
She, her.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't that's all I could ever ask for. It's like exactly what she said. Like nothing else matters. Nothing. Like streams, money, fame, which is a fucking joke anyway. Like anything. Like that's all I could ever ask for is like for someone to feel anything listening to my music. So especially like queerness, and like it's so hard as like a woman who especially if you're not like fully like know that you're like lesbian, or if you know what I mean, or if like you're genderqueer, or um if you're like in between, like it's like there's also just like if you're bi, there's like you almost don't even feel accepted in either category because like people are always like it's a phase, or like whatever, she just like hasn't met like the right guy yet or whatever, blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean that makes me feel like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it obviously makes me very emotional, but I don't know. Like it's a lot for me to think about, and it makes it very real because like I haven't been on tour with these songs. Like I haven't seen put like faces to the listeners, and that makes it very real. So like hearing stuff like that just hits me super hard because that's what I've always wanted forever. That is like that right there is like what an artist means to me. Like being an artist, and like that's success. There's nothing more I could ever get that will top that. A Grammy couldn't top that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, and I'm so glad that Grace got to say all of that because she was freaking out when she found out you were coming. And I can definitely say that, I mean, apart from just Grace, literally so many people that I know that are in my life are so affected by your music, and like this weekend, I was raised in the church, and it's been such a process to like understand my own identity. And I saw a few weeks ago I took my cousin to a concert, and there was like this big rant that basically said like I would not be considered like a brother or sister in Christ, and that was so affecting for me, and that was like so hurtful. And then this weekend I saw Dodie in concert in St. Louis, and I was weeping, like sobbing. And even more than that, like that directly after we like drove back, we are not from St. Louis, we're from Indiana, so we drove back in the middle of the night and Pink Pony Club came on and we listened to it like 3 times, like just on repeat because yeah, I felt like I was so allowed to be myself and like artists like you and like Dodie and so many other people are creating that space. Yeah, so thank you for doing that and yeah. Thank you for
Well,
being
thank you for
here.
saying that. That like truly means the world. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you for being here today on the podcast. Is there well, first, I was gonna say, do you have any final words? But before we do that, what can people expect to hear from you in the future?
Well, I mean, I think I'm probably gonna come out with like 5 or 6 songs this year. So it's gonna be like nonstop. So I think we have like Naked in Manhattan, and then the next one is 6 to 8 weeks after that. So it's like we're moving, and then there's the Olivia show, and then right after that we're releasing, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a lot. So I mean, you can expect stuff all year, but Naked in Manhattan, obviously, you can pre-save it. I really encourage people to pre-save it. It like helps me a lot to like know how to kind of navigate the stuff I can do as like an indie artist with marketing and stuff like that, and just like knowing numbers and stuff. I guess I don't know. That really helps. So yeah, if you want to like help an indie artist, definitely pre-save their stuff.
Yeah. Great. Where can we follow you on social media?
Everything is at Chappell Roan, and like TikTok, Instagram. I don't fuck with Twitter, but sure, follow me on there. I'm mostly on TikTok and Instagram, and like you can DM me on Instagram. I really try to respond to all of them. Tag me in your TikToks if you sing or dance or anything. Yeah, I want to see what everyone, how they feel about it. Song.
Yeah. And then finally, do you have any final words for listeners? Anything profound or unprofound?
Slay. This is for the queer community. Of course, you know, everyone is fucking welcome to party, but this is a safe project for queer kids. And I always encourage people, if you come to my show, wear your prom dress, I want people in drag. I want people to be themselves. Like this whole project is like the Pink Pony Club. Like that's what it should feel like, a club. So, you know, and everyone is welcome, straight, any sexuality, any gender, anyone. So slay.
You heard it here first, folks. And that wraps up this episode.